What is up? This is the Wrestling for Life Network. We are here for another live stream tonight. We have TNA Impact. We're about 2 weeks removed from Slamversary. Got to talk about that. Got to talk about all of the wrestling news that has come out this past week. Like I said, this is another live stream, and this is the Wrestling for Life Network. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Wrestling for Life Network. And like I said earlier, this is another live stream. Tonight, we have TNA Impact on lock. We got 2 title matches. The Knockouts title is on the line. The International Championship is on the line. We will also hear from Trick Williams as he kicks off tonight's TNA Impact. I am not here alone. We have Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the man who puts the T in TNA, Ringsider Anthony. I am Big Nick, and yes, we're 8 days removed, and thank you, TNA's, media team for reminding me of that. We're 8 days removed from Emergence, and then we've still got Bound for Glory. We're still building all the way through this, and now we've had guys like Moose show up on TNA this week. We had Joe Hendry popping out of a fridge, looking like munchies. Looking like after you had the vitamins on an evening night of, just popping out of the fridge.
The fact that I thought we had 2 more weeks for Emergence. I did not realize that the 15th was next Friday.
Well, that goes into a bit of a question. Is Emergence becoming a bit of an afterthought of it's going Slamversary, Bound for Glory, and there is not much that they give a fuck between?
Maybe. I think I just thought it was 2 weeks away for some reason. But if you look at it, we had Slamversary on the 20th. We have Emergence on the 15th. So we're roughly like almost a month removed from Slamversary. I think to better answer your question, I think a lot of the fans are still somewhat upset about what happened at Slamversary. So Emergence is not being talked about as much. I personally am excited for Emergence. I just thought the 15th was like 2 weeks away.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I mean, autumn and fall come up on you fast and everything. But, well, you mentioned some people, so I will quickly mention of our top 3 chatters from last night, Spaz, Bradley, and Damien, as we will say hi to the chat in a quick second. Yes, shout out everybody. That's where you get your YouTube extra little crowns. That's like the, Intercontinental title to the prediction title. You get your weekly awards. But you mentioned about people not being happy after Slamversary of NXT walks away with all the TNA gold and the mounting fight hasn't seemed that great Santino lost. Moose comes out and cuts a bit of a promo, but yeah, how does TNA feel that NXT's running roughshod right now?
TNA, so coming out of Slamversary, we had the fallout of Slamversary on that episode of TNA Impact, and the locker room is united, right? They had a segment with all of the current TNA champions that are wrestlers in TNA. So you're talking Steve Macklin, the Hardys, and Leon Slater. Yeah, and they're kind of rallying the troops, right? At the end, it was kind of headed by Steve Macklin, and he said, we're declaring war, right? Well, we haven't had that war just yet. I think it's kind of
but the battle lines have been drawn.
Yes, the battle lines have been drawn, but the war has not begun just yet. And I think that might be the and I don't want to use the term downfall. It's more of the long-term, story they're trying to build. Slow play going into Bound for Glory season. If anybody watched the TNA Slamversary Fade to Black, it seems like they kind of have a plan of what they want to do. And I think it'll all come together. It's just in TNA's fashion, they're just like a slow burn, slow build type thing when it comes to big storylines.
Fair enough. Now, I hadn't watched the full Fade to Black thing, was that kind of like their, I know it was kind of going to be a behind the scenes, did they go like WWE Unreal with it, or was it still kind of kayfabe on kayfabe?
It was more it was I'll say it was somewhat geared towards like WWE Unreal. It wasn't them like going into like the scripts or whatever of that matter, or how they
Well,
made
you're going over the Joseph Parks and get yelled at by Bruce Pritchard.
Exactly. It was more of how they put Slamversary together. You know, they were talking about the largest crowd they were going to draw, separate interviews with some of the talent. AJ Styles they had like an interview with AJ Styles, and he was basically talking about how when if TNA never got to the point where he was, where it was towards a downfall, he said he would have stayed with TNA. And he said now that, you know, he has returned and he's seen the backstage and how production is ran and how TNA in the locker room is a family, he said he believes TNA is just going to grow and grow from here. So it was more of that, you know, that type of documentary, not more of like revealing the dark secrets.
Fair enough. So TNA or AJ Styles TNA World Championship title run confirmed before he retires.
He did mention a match. He just said, I don't know how much, you know, if that it will happen, but he said, I am considering a match. So I would love that.
Fair enough. And I want to slide into talking about where TNA and maybe AAA and so might slide into some recent vacancies or some upcoming vacancies from WWE, but we got to say hi to people.
Yes.
Definitely. Kevin, what up? Jack, what up? Happy National Raspberries and Cream Day. I don't think that's actually a real day. Do you?
No, I've never heard of it.
Fair enough. Well, like I said, Zach's always kind of like our advent calendar out here. He's like that calendar you have in the office. You pull it off a different piece of paper every day. Is National blah, blah, blah day. Eric, hey, Wrestling for Life buddies. Can't wait for Elegance Night in TNA plus Hendry versus Ali, and former Jakara Jackson is in action as well. Yeah, we haven't fully talked about Jakara Jackson now in TNA. Joe Hendry's popping out of fridges and doing wide effects. But even it's very much the night by Elegance tonight on TNA.
Yeah, it's definitely the night by Elegance. We got, you know, the world title match, the Knockouts world title match, and then the other two members, M by Elegance and Heather by Elegance, are both in some tag team action. So it's Elegance heavy tonight.
Right. Damien looking for Joe Hendry and Ali. Should be a fantastic match, I think. Yeah. And especially two guys. Are you, and I only ask this because I think I'm starting to wane on it. And not Bruce, but on the Joe Hendry train, are you still on it? Are you still behind him, or is it kind of getting long in the tooth?
I still believe in Joe Hendry, but I also believe Joe Hendry is out TNA's door, you know, within the end of the year. So I still believe in him. I think the hype is still there. It has dwindled a little bit. I can definitely give you that. It's dwindled a lot. But me personally, I still believe in Joe Hendry, but I'm also behind Mike Santana too.
Oh, well, I think so we can get into it in a bit later, but I think Moose doesn't win at Emergence because Mike Santana is the guy, the babyface, the hero that TNA needs. But Dennis, what up? Wrestling God, Josh, what up? What up? Ken, hi all. Had a beef on whack pizza. No, I'm sleepy. Fair enough. I think if you ate a whole pizza, I think, which would be a sandwich on a pizza, I believe, though, too. Vance, what up? Speedy recovery to AJ Francis. What happened to AJ?
Oh, I haven't heard anything about AJ, but
is it just his huevos on the ladder?
I've heard about Casey Navarro. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, because there's been some back and forth, you know, positive back and forth between AJ Francis and Casey Navarro, but I haven't seen anything about AJ Francis.
I haven't heard anything about Casey Navarro, so we're on opposite ends of the spectrum. Bradley, what up? MDB, TNA Austin Powers, of course. Still, I'm waiting for the members only watch along of Anthony watches at least an Austin Powers movie.
You will be
at
waiting
least the
a very,
trailer
very-
to an Austin Powers movie.
I watched half a trailer to an Austin Powers movie.
Who watches half a trailer?
I do.
I will fight you on the fact that you even brought up the whole term of half a trailer. Who knows what half a trailer is?
If it's
like
a 2-minute trailer, I'll watch a minute.
Thing.
That's it.
Damien, what up? Wrestling Proud. Jose. Yeah, see, Ringside or Austin Powers. That's your new name.
Hey.
Spaz with a $5 super chat. Sticky Nicky and TNA. Yeah, it's Trick NA. It's everybody's favorite non-alcoholic wrestling show. Gangbanging on good times, pause. It's my Friday Today shout out. It's Lincoln Park Eve for your boy. We need AJ on AJ action. AJ Francis versus AJ Styles, Battle of the AJs.
I mean, AJ Francis keeps saying he's the best AJ that ever stepped foot into TNA, so maybe we get that.
Full face lie. That's a
exactly.
Full face lie. Why the fuck you lying? Adam, sup, y'all? Beard looking sharp, Anthony. Yeah, it's just you kind of indoctrinated into the system here. It's like we're like the Amish. Well, and funny I mentioned the system, TNA, but yeah, you gotta grow a beard to be on the show.
Just a little bit, just a little bit.
Right. I watch half the trailer all the time. I want to see the movie. They give too much. Oh, wait, then won't watch the trailer. Why are we? Who starts half a meal type of shit? Like, why? If you don't want to be spoiled, then don't start it.
I mean, it's not like all the time I watch half a trailer. It was just the Austin Powers trailer. I got halfway through and I was like, this looks stupid. I'm not wasting my time.
Oh, fair.
So
I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight you. Anthony's beard ain't nothing. Don't compliment him as MDB pipes up.
Oh, he just heard that I won't watch Austin Powers.
Right. Jose reminding everybody, if the channel reaches, I don't know why I turned Australian there, reaches, but if we reach 10K subscribers, KJ and Nick get tattoos, and Anthony watches all the Austin Powers movies. Yeah, we're getting tattoos of the logo. You got to do something if we reach 10K.
Well, it won't be watching Austin Powers.
You got to at least watch one or something. You got to do something, my guy. Because if we're, which, by the way, halfway spoiler, halfway segue and everything. But again, mea culpa. If we missed your comment, we do have the super chats, the super stickers, the memberships, all of that. We try and click on as many as we can. But yes, we are very much moving fast and forward to the goal of 10K subscribers, to which me and KJ a long time ago in a galaxy, in a stream far, far away, agreed that we would get the logo tattooed if we reach 10K. So you got to be in this now. If you want to be in the club, you got to do something. Do you even have a tattoo? Could that be your first tattoo? I say.
No, I don't have a tattoo, but I'm like severely allergic to like skin stuff. So
fair enough.
Yeah, I feel like if I got a tattoo, I would die.
Yeah, how about let's not say we did, right? So then you got to watch Austin Powers or something.
Oh shoot. We have to figure out another movie because it definitely won't be.
We'll figure out something, folks. But I should have the start of TNA Plus starting soon, which for anyone keeping track of, I guess, budgets and funds on streaming services, TNA Plus costs you $9.99, because I know that's a hot topic of, you know, how much you spend on streaming services in the wrestling community. But yeah. And that doesn't always include all the pay-per-views. Just saying.
It doesn't. All right. So I have JC Jane.
Yes, sir. I have the Fatal Influence coming out. Well, they're replaying the video from last week of the title match between Masha and JC. Yes, 100%, folks. We're live and kicking it with TNA Impact of On the Road to Genesis, On the Road to Bound for Glory, and do they need to start getting their kind of lit back on NXT?
I think so. I hope, I pray that they don't drag this out very, very long. They need to start getting some type of get back here. I don't know what it's going to be.
You don't run it till October, November. Generals gathered in their masses.
Survivor Series?
Around there, even of at least something. You do a Lethal Lockdown equivalent of TNA's version of that.
No, I like that. That would be something cool for them to do. And I know a lot of people want Lethal Lockdown to return. So that could be something. I also saw that they trademarked WWE trademarked Super Brawl, Super something.
No, it was Super Bowl. That's an old WCW, WCW, and I think an NWA a bit trademark of they that was one of their pay-per-views that they would run. It was halfway akin to SummerSlam, halfway akin to Survivor Series. They're kind of invasion-y, Forbidden Door, which we have Forbidden Door coming up.
We do.
Coming up, and I don't know how many doors are left to knock on for that.
Yeah, it's not really forbidden. It's more of it's wide open.
Doggy.
But yes, Forbidden Door is up next. But yeah, I kind of want them to do a Clash pay-per-view very, very soon. I don't know how that will
Worlds
work.
Collide.
Worlds collide, most definitely.
Worlds collide. As I'm getting the intro shot into the Thomas M.R. Ryan Center.
That's exactly where I am too, as Trick is coming out.
Now, we know he was going to kick it off. Do you think Moose, latest, greatest challenger, who's supposed to be a heel on TNA, by the way, is the one to dethrone him?
Definitely not Moose dethroning him. And when it comes to his character, if he's a heel or a face, it's kind of confusing because the week before, I think Slamversary, he basically called Sami Callihan a fat cow in so many terms, right? He literally called him fat on live TV.
Well, strategy con.
And then after Slammiversary, it was like he and the whole system kind of turned face in this whole thing with NXT. So he's like in the middle of being not the term hybrid, a tweener at this point.
He's in a land of gray of he's one of those of he's fighting for TNA, but he's not fighting beyond that.
Right. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. So
Forbidden Snore, Mega, what up? Spaz, what up again, folks? Oh, well, actually, there isn't even a match kicking off right now. We just got Trick out here cutting a promo. But Denisha, what up?
Denisha.
Jerome just saying, Joe. Aubrey, peace, love, and happiness. Now I feel like I want to quote The Simpsons of, it's trying to bring us love. It's trying to bring us peace. Kill it. Anyone who's above the age of 30 or has watched 90 Simpsons gets that reference.
I have watched some Simpsons. I really like it.
You know, that's what we need to then. If you're not going to do Austin Powers, at least The Simpsons something.
See? And Family Guy.
We reached a settlement, but yes, of I bring you peace, I bring you love. Try to bring us peace and love. Kill it. Adam, Chad, if you elect me president, I will it illegal to put too many spoilers in movie trailers and replace the national anthem as Black Sabbath song. I thought that was the national anthem right now. Generals gathered in their masses.
So we got Trick basically talking about how he's gonna beat Moose at Emergence. I think he called him like ball-headed something.
Well, how do you feel as Trick as TNA champion? Is this helped added that kind of lightning bolt, that battery pack to him? Because if he wasn't going to win that NXT title anymore, and they had almost no choice but to move him up at that point, and he would have gotten 8 and alive if they moved him up. He would have been one of those, where is they now?
Yeah, I have no problem with Trick being TNA World Champ. I think this is the best we've seen Trick Williams. And honestly, like having that TNA belt on NXT each week is great. And basically, I halfway agree with MDB where he says Trick's reign over Joe Hendry's as Moose comes out.
Lights out. Do you think it's Moose or is it Dark State, Deep Fake?
Oh, it's definitely Moose. I can hear the theme song.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't have my volume high, but Spaz with a $5 super chat. Okay, hear me out. Triple Cage War Games. They tried that on the Russo and it didn't work. They tried that in WWE movie and it didn't work. Raw, SmackDown, NXT versus TNA, AAA, Noah, 10-on-10, Jericho to referee.
I don't know about Jericho refereeing, but I'm kind of good with everything you said, except with Jericho.
How did we even get all the way there? But Moose out here. Is it interesting to you that Moose is the TNA defender when him and the system was the TNA destroyer?
For what? Yeah, like a good year or so.
Right. Well, and then he even, after he loses the X Division title, starts to hint at, well, there might be more that I need to go after. I kind of might have accomplished everything I can here. So is Moose a guy that crosses lines?
Because he has done everything possible in TNA. X Division champion, I think tag team champion, world champion. So honestly, he could be one to move over in truth. Oh, as Trick leaves the ring. And when it comes to MDB's comment, like if we can agree halfway, I thought Nick Nemeth's title reign was absolutely insane, and I loved it. I think Trick just has a better character than Nick Nemeth does, and it really resonates with the crowd.
Does it work with Trick because he's the enemy? He is, no matter what he says, he is instinctually the enemy.
Yeah, absolutely. He is in enemy territory. He is the enemy. So absolutely, it just works better with Trick Williams.
Anyone else notice he's kind of got the same chain as Seth Rollins, or it's just
a little bit
PW instead of the SR?
A little bit. Oh, as Gia Miller has returned the first time since being attacked at Slamversary
by that unnamed assailant, Tessa Blanchard.
I was actually pretty upset that she was attacked by Gia Miller. I mean, that Gia Miller was attacked by her, because I really like Gia Miller.
Well, is this keeping up with the I Hate Tessa merch and everything?
It kind of is. Oh, she's addressing Tessa now.
Are we going to get Gia Miller in a match?
I think so.
I don't hope so. Why? What good is going to come from this? Does Gia Miller have a history as a competitor? Is she Ref Jess out there?
She does.
Okay.
She just said she's gonna effing kill her. I like that. She does have a history of wrestling. She wrestles on the
Okay, I was like, why?
Oh no, I get your concern.
Kathy Kelly about to fucking fight Rhea Ripley right now.
No, I get your concern, but she has a history of wrestling.
Okay. As she instantly just bang on professionalism of instantly cuts to interviewing Joe Hendry.
Right. I kind of like that though. She was like, whenever you return to work, I'm going to effing kill you.
I will find you. She was fucking Liam Neeson in Taken.
Exactly.
I have a very particular set of skills. Skills that make me a menace to you. Now I gotta ask. Joe Hendry, the random Wyatt pop-ups, the pops out of a fridge with the Ren Sinclair, the No Quarter Catch crew and everything. Is Joe Hendry just doing side quests now?
I think Joe Hendry is doing side quests until he, makes the jump to WWE.
But is he making the jump into NXT?
I think so. I think he takes the route of NXT. I mean, Jordan Grace did. I feel like he will too. But yeah, I really think he's just doing side quests, until that time. What would really be cool is if he maybe takes one of the titles away from NXT. If they do that, he could take like the North American title or something. I don't know. But I think he's on his side
before he joins the other side.
I guess so. Like, it would be cool. Like, this is just fantasy booking that would never happen. That he wins the title while he's still a TNA contracted superstar and takes that title with him to WWE once he signs. That's out the wall thinking, but
No, I think we just do Invasion 2000 angle. I'm expecting Carlos Silva with Shane McMahon to show up on NXT, and they want to take over, and they have a Deadpool or a Drowning Pool song of "Let the Body." We go straight ECW WCW invasion. If anyone remembers that, because like I want the invasion. I want to see TNA get sick of being the little brother and everything, and that would really shake and shut the fuck up a lot of people. Of the partnership isn't working out for TNA. I know we kind of hinted at it earlier. For everybody, I know KJ talked about it at length last night. I'm surprised no one's mentioned it tonight. With the WWE ESPN deal, but that leaves the door wide open for TNA, AAA to move into Peacock. So I'm waiting for TNA to kind of really make that big, huge step.
Yeah, and I think we're so close. We've been so close for so long, and we've been saying so close, but I really think we're right there. And I saw the Peacock rumors. I'm like behind it. Have TNA on Peacock. That would work perfectly for them and work wonders for them. I don't know what USA has going on Thursday nights, but you can put TNA right on the USA network. You know, one night TNA, the next night SmackDown. But I hope they have something big. And I know Carlos said within the next 60 to 90 days. So you're looking at close to Bound for Glory for an announcement. So I'm excited and I hope they get there.
Well, would that be where they make that announcement? Because again, for those who don't know, somehow at this point, so WWE made a deal with ESPN to where in 2026 and going forward, their PLEs will be aired on ESPN's direct-to-consumer service, which I also want to clarify, because they did a terrible point of pointing it out, of if you already have ESPN in any sort of cable platform, whether it be you have a cable provider, you have YouTube TV, Hulu, Fubo TV, Christ, you just have Netflix and a VPN, which is the way to go. You don't have to pay any sort of extra charge, so the crash out's a little unnecessary. But it also leaves now the big void for live wrestling on Peacock, which TNA and AAA can, in partnering with WWE and having that kind of rub with working with WWE, slide in there, I think, quite easily.
Yeah, I think they can. I think they can slide into Peacock's DMs as sneaky and get that deal done.
They're using the What's Up app. They can't even see that.
Exactly. And from what I'm understanding, Carlos is really only seeking like $10 million for TNA's, like a TV deal. So you go from WWE being paid 80 million a year on Peacock for just 10 million. Take the deal, Peacock, please.
Well, and also it came out as I've got Macklin working out with, I guess, the soccer club or
that's
something,
what it looks like.
Minor league football team. No, football club. I had football right, but I'm American, not European. But yeah, that's even part of why WWE moved to ESPN outside of the global aspect of it. But they paid fucking 3 times what Paramount or Peacock was playing.
Yeah,
and part of what Peacock is having to have the live specials provide your own live content, which I think that would be a nice little incentive of forcing TNA's hand a little bit of to go live on a weekly show instead of doing the tape to record.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I know that's one thing that they're looking into is going live each week, as we got Mike Santana and Sami Callihan.
Right. Dapping it up. Anyone else for half a second think EY was Tommaso Ciampa? Just me?
No.
Triple H, what are you doing here?
I am with you there. And I think Sami Callihan has a match at Emergence. I can't remember who it is. It might be Mike Santana. If he loses, Sami is going to retire, I think.
Fair. Wow. At Emergent. Genesis. I had the wrong pay-per-view up. I was like, I might know that. No, I had Genesis up instead of Emergence. All of these damn pay-per-view names.
It's so many.
Right, but that would be really interesting because, I mean, you've seen Jessica Havoc lately, his partner, I believe his wife, don't want to intrude on anything, has very much been MIA from pro wrestling. It's kind of more moved away from it. And Sammy, we know, is involved with Wrestling Revolver and all of that. So does he move from in-ring to outer ring and puts more of an emphasis on something like that? Because Wrestling Revolver, House of Glory, those are a couple promotions that are like one or two steps away from being in the conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. Now I'm looking just to confirm. It looks like the match is not official, but I'm pretty sure it is at Emergence, and I don't know if it's Steve Macklin. But you're right. His wife has kind of stepped away from professional wrestling, and also, according to Wikipedia, it is Mike Santana. It's just not on the TNA website.
Fair enough.
But his wife has stepped away. He is doing a lot of backstage stuff for TNA. And then, like you said, he has his own, Wrestling Revolver. And Wrestling Revolver is doing some big things. So maybe this is his way of kind of stepping back from the ring and kind of focusing on his own promotion and the backstage stuff with TNA.
Right. But Paul, it also bundles with Hulu and Disney Plus. Yes, both of which absolute balls. Well, this is where we have to do the shameless plug of the wrestling may suck, and I guess the streaming provider may suck, but we never do. So we got you covered on all the shows. So even if you can't afford that $30, we got you covered.
Absolutely.
But at least you're not just paying for WWE. Well, that's also halfway, I think, a bit of the selling point that people forget. It's also not going to be one of those if you pay per pay-per-view. Unless you literally are not using, unless you found no other way except for to pay for the service, and you're only using the service to pay for WWE pay-per-views is the only way you are paying specifically for WWE pay-per-views, and only.
Yeah. And see, that was my thing, your actual last part, because I don't watch anything on ESPN. I don't watch any type of sport. So I would be paying that $30 just to watch WWE, but I do subscribe to YouTube TV. And so if that's true, then I do have that ESPN option to watch the PLEs.
I am in literally the exact same boat of I use YouTube TV for everything, and for those who like to always say, oh well, Nick's got money because he used the Vipin, which I even put in the Discord and everything, of an absolute free Vipin that you can use, so all you have to do is get Netflix and you're good to go. But yeah, I like that it was including a lot of, they don't want you to cut cable. This is a cable company providing an extra service. They don't want you to get rid of cable because that's how they still make their money.
Absolutely. You're right. And see, for me, I didn't even know ESPN was on YouTube TV because I literally only watch two channels, and that's
I'm a sports nerd, so.
and the ID channel. So that's about it.
I am gearing up for college football, game day and everything. And I know everybody, I think it was Tuesday, I went off on the fact that ESPN bought the NFL Network and Red Zone, which I still very much have my feelings on if they're going to fuck it up, because they're going to throw commercials because NFL Red Zone is supposed to be 7+ hours of commercial-free football action. They're going to throw fucking commercials. They're going to throw Stephen A. Smith on it. All that. I'm hoping maybe we get a college Red Zone version of that, but I'm worried that ESPN will fuck up the NFL. I'm not worried that WWE will get fucked up by ESPN because they'll be still separate onto themselves. Obviously, TKO. I like that we might get a sports center from a WrestleMania or from SummerSlam, that your biggest global provider in sports is now having WWE sports entertainment on it. So I think it also kind of validates it, and it shows you how far it's gone. And let's not forget World of Sport and all of this from the Von Erichs out there in Texas and all of that. Mid-South Wrestling was on ESPN. ESPN used to show wrestling. They're just going back to their roots and paying a high dollar for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not really a sports guy, but I do hope it brings like a sports feel to like the WWE pay-per-views. And you kind of can tell that WWE has been adding those sports feels to like their weekly shows with the wrestlers walking in and they got the camera panning to them walking in and stuff like that. So I hope it does bring like a real sports feel to it a little bit for the premium live events. As we got Jake Something and Steve Macklin in this match, as Steve Macklin is defending the international championship against Jake Something.
Love Jake Something. Just change the fucking name, bro. Like, it's still always like, who's on first, what's on second, something is in the ring. Like, it's just change the fucking name, because he's super talented, and especially in TNA, he's one of their guys. He's like a Cody Deaner of just, they are TNA guys, of the TNA crowd gets behind them, respects them, and they're talented.
Yeah. Jake Something is really talented, and I do think he may be the next international champion. I think he may dethrone Steve Macklin, but I'm with you with the name. I do like to play on the name a little bit and say Jake Something has something, but yeah, I think we need to change the name.
Oh yeah, no, I guess you. I was right there. Of who's in the ring, something. No, who's in the ring, something. Very much like that, but Macklin is, again, he's kind of just one of those guys. And now, do you worry that if you become too much of a guy in TNA, like a Mike Santana, like a Moose, like a Masha, like a Joe Hendry, you're just setting up to go to WWE? You're getting fed into another system.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Carlos talked about that, and he basically said, that's always in the back of our mind. When it comes to Steve Macklin, on the Fade to Black thing, the documentary, he basically talked about how TNA, and I know people can talk about that, but he did say TNA is his home. This is where he's here to stay. This is where they believed in him, after being let go from other places, and the other places is WWE. So if there's one person I can see sticking around, unless the money calls, because money talks, and I think Steve Macklin sticks around.
Well, yeah, he's a guy that's really built himself, again, much like a Jake Something, that's kind of built themselves in this company, as both men just throwing hands, falling off the apron, and still throwing hands. Is this the week of just walk-in brawls all throughout wrestling, of Monday Night Raw? Sheamus and Miro did it all through Monday Night Raw. Tuesday, it was Lash and Nia did it all through Raw. Are we going to just get, something, and can Macklin just brawl all the way through Impact?
I think so. This probably leads to something at Emergence.
Why is the security interrupting the match? That's nothing that was illegal or interrupting the match actually happened. They were just having a competitive fucking match. What happened?
Oh, they rung the bell. I think it was a count out.
We're getting out of here. As Tope.
I think it was a count out, but I'm not entirely sure. But they did ring the bell.
Count out again.
Yeah. Steve Macklin took out everybody. Yeah, this is leading to something at Emergence.
Is it always going to be a falls count anywhere, street fight? Like, I think it just always ends up being a falls count anywhere, because you're fighting so much outside the ring. We're just going to make it to where you can win the match outside the ring. Exactly. They're still fighting.
When it comes to Steve Macklin, he's that guy that it turns out to be one of those type matches.
Well, this is the same human being that I think was one of the coolest and grossest moments I've ever watched live on stream, to where he was damn near stapling his forehead back to his forehead and everything, because it got cut up and just destroyed in a match.
Yes, I think that was Steve Macklin. He's also the guy who stapled PCO's mouth shut at Under Siege 2023. So yeah.
Here we need him and Swerve Strickland in a staple gun match.
I think so.
Fantasy book that, as I got so Mance and Steph D-Lander, I almost called her Stephanie, but Steph, walk into Santino's office as he's got the special announcement, the secret announcement for Emergence.
Yeah, I wonder what this is all about. I really want to know what this announcement is. I haven't seen any spoilers from the taping, so like I'm completely in the dark of what this is.
Is it crazy to you, especially TNA hardcore fan, that TNA does majority of their shows taped and everything, and yet are the least spoiled company, have the least stories come out, have the least amount of rumors and leaks and shit come out?
Yeah, it's crazy and scary at the same time. Honestly, I was concerned when WWE, they started the partnership last summer, the unofficial partnership until it was officially signed. There was spoilers coming out then about stuff of people being at the shows and stuff like that. And then it was like now it's kind of back to where it was when it was Impact Wrestling. There's not a peep. There's nothing. I can't find anything unless, I actually have to search for it. Usually I can scroll and just find it like on TikTok. But now
that's a good thing. That's
a good thing.
Very much a good thing in 2025 in pro wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's unheard of because everything is spoiled. I mean, the Brock Lesnar thing. That no one, and when I mean no one, I'm talking about these so-called, reporters knew
journalists, as they
anything,
like to call themselves.
right? Anything about Brock Lesnar, and that was, he showed up at the SummerSlam, and it was shocking. So yeah, for TNA, it's really good that nothing gets spoiled for them.
Oh, absolutely. I think they are the one of one. They are the unicorn in this situation because AW is a fucking sieve. And WWE, it becomes the question of, are they working the stories? Are they working, what gets out of, I know, and we're in a commercial break. I love that you call this man Triple Nose, even though I don't know if I fully agree with you, but I love that you call him Triple Nose. But Karrion Kross loses at SummerSlam, might be done this weekend, allegedly gets offered a contract, even then goes on a podcast, The Angle, shout out, and even says everything you've heard is all bullshit, it's all a lie. And that's him, I would assume, genuinely being honest, as the man's got a book out, an independent movie out. So how do you feel, sir?
When it comes to Karrion Kross, yeah, I
love Triple Nose. I love Triple Nose.
I was a bit upset that Triple Nose booked him to lose at SummerSlam. I was highly angry. I felt like he needed that win. When it comes to him potentially stepping away, I don't know. I think we just have to wait and see. I know I was the one that sent you guys the interview where he was like, the news that you see, and I'm talking about specifically today, is not true. Is this all a ruse? Is this all, he'll be there on Monday Night Raw?
R-Truth. Is it
yeah,
R-Truth?
I was just about to say, is this an R-Truth thing type deal here? I don't know. I don't want him to leave WWE, but I also want him to be booked better in WWE. And if that's him stepping away and being booked very well somewhere else, then I'm fine with it. But we got to do something.
See, that's the thing is, and I know you might have said it more just in conjecture and everything, of where I want him to stay in WWE and actually get booked well. I just want him to be booked better. I know you said book better in WWE. I don't care if it's TNA. I don't care if it's AEW. I don't care if it's MLW. It is one of those, you are that type of talent, I will follow you. And that might be one of those big fumbles if he doesn't stay with WWE, because that's a guy right now in TNA, I think, runs it. He is your flag bearer in any other promotion outside of WWE.
Yeah, and I was actually talking about Karrion Kross in TNA with Boston earlier this week, and I basically said, like, I just started dropping matches that Karrion Kross could have. You could have Karrion Kross versus Mike Santana, Karrion Kross versus Ali, Karrion Kross versus Cedric Alexander, Karrion Kross versus Steve Macklin. You got matches with Karrion Kross if he crosses over to TNA. And I think TNA would do it right with booking him right. I feel like WWE can do it right by booking him right. It's just I don't know. The
Where
fans
do
are
you go with
behind
him in WWE
see,
versus he's a world champ in TNA, he's a world champ in AEW, and I know I've mentioned I think he would just do basically the Death Riders gimmick and the whole Puppet Master gimmick. Beyond everybody, he would be their actual top star that just they got gifted, and it becomes more of an issue of how would they book him versus how good he is. But what do you do with him in WWE?
So, as we talked in the group chat earlier this week, I honestly don't know because he has taken so many losses from the time he returned to WWE the second time that it's like it's hard. The fans are behind him now, but how do you make him look believable at this point? I mean, I was there when he returned live in Greenville, South Carolina, and he came face to face with Roman Reigns. He said TikTok, and we got nothing from it. We never got any, not a match, not anything, right? And then he went into the feud with Drew McIntyre that he eventually lost. And then he was like in two, I know he was in one group. I think he might have been in two stables at one time that both
he was
failed.
in the Final Testament.
Yes.
And then, well, because he came back and then he had the match with Drew that he went over. And then he was in Final Testament. And then it's been Rumble, Battle Royal, Rumble, Battle Royal, Rumble, Battle Royal.
And
then
he's just been
he went in
losing
the Sami Zayn feud.
Yeah, so he hasn't really done much of anything, and he's been losing everything. So how do you build him back up from that in WWE? Honestly, I don't know.
Do you, and I will say quickly, again, shout out to everybody. I know, Anthony, we got a lot of things to talk about. I haven't seen this man since like last Thursday, 2 Thursdays ago, maybe even. But as we've got the Zayas, as I want to call them, Zaya Lee, I know she's got a different name in TNA, but Zaya Lee and Zaya Brookside. So the Zayas versus the Elegances, the houses are battling as Iceman, and I want to put that man on ice. But do you make Karrion Kross the anti-authority guy in WWE? I know the whole contract thing's been floated about. You have the we want Kross to where Triple H tries to play it off of, yeah, we wanted Brock, you got him. Does it become one of those of they brought me back, you didn't? Of he becomes that CM Punk, that kind of Stone Cold Steve Austin, like Heyman even mentioned with his interview with Ariel Helwani, of one of those of fuck you, this is my shit, I'm taking it over. Of I'm sick of getting pushed around. Of going back to that being a good soldier, promo that he cut, because he's the same guy that cut that whole promo just literally on like an Instagram or a Twitter of, oh, the grass is always greener. Screw you, water your own grass, grab some fertilizer, do stuff like that. Like build your shit within itself. So I don't know if he's a guy that would leave, but I wonder if they pitch him to a guy that's anti-authority, that sticks up to fuck you. You're the system that was pushing against me the whole time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can definitely see him being like a rebel, being that outcast. If he does resign, they can, they could book him in a way where he's just, like you said, interrupting each show, hijacking each show, and having the fans just rally behind him. I can see that.
I think actually it was KJ, and it's funny that this gets brought up. No TNA polls tonight. So pulling back the curtain, KJ is the only one that can actually put up the polls because he's the one who has access to the YouTube channel that can put up the polls and everything. So me and Anthony can respectfully ask your opinions, but we can't put the polls up.
That is the truth. This is the
right. We can't put our polls in the water. We can't go into this fishing hole.
This is the Wrestling for Life version of Unreal. We don't know how to do
back
it.
The curtain of just respectfully, we can't do it. But it's one of those of, so if he's the guy that just shows up and it breaks that kind of fourth wall and everything a little bit and kind of goes at the establishment, which he fits the kind of mold for a character that would do that. I think that's a way to fucking strike the fucking match with him. Do it with the whole contract thing. Is it they're doing our truth again? Of did they realize that works? Of we just act like we fired him, so then we bring him back, and everyone will love that we brought him back because they got mad then thinking that we fired him.
Right. I mean, I think they have a lot of possibilities for Karrion Kross. It's just can Triple Nose execute it well?
Fair enough. I still love that you keep calling him Triple Nose. Yes, I do have. I have the Zias versus the Elegances. Who do you have in this match, sir? Is Adam saying King of the Castle?
You know, I'm gonna take Zaya Brookside and Zia Lee Lei Ying Lee. I can't even say her TNA name. I got them winning. I think they potentially could become #1 contenders for the titles. I know Ash is not in this match and she's one half of the tag team champions, but I think they could take the titles away.
Yes, her TNA name is Ye Ling Yi.
Yes.
But I think the Elegances win here because they're not going to win later. This gives you a false sense of security of, hey, we're riding high and fly on this show. Of the Elegances have managed to pull off the victory here. But JC versus Ash, do you think that Masha gets involved and ends up in a triple threat at Emergence Bound for Glory?
Absolutely. I don't think we write Masha out just yet. So I agree with you. I think Masha's going to be in the mix for a minute. I actually want Masha to be the one to take the title away from JC Jane. But we have to see. But I think Masha's definitely going to be involved. Absolutely.
Could you see a surprise title change of they actually go with Ash? Of she's been a bit of a perennial stalwart of this, division, if I can use all the fancy words. She's been constantly in this orbit.
Mm-hmm. She definitely has been in an orbit. You can't count Ash out. I mean, I've always been a fan of Dana Brooke when she was in WWE. I really became a fan of her in TNA because she found her own. I mean, giving it to Ash would be shocking, right? What I want them to do though, is I want them to get the Knockouts title back first. I want them.
That would be a way to do it.
Yeah,
it goes to Ash and you get Ash versus Masha.
Absolutely. I want them to get the Knockouts title back first. And if Ash is the one, yeah, please do it. And then, the big get back for TNA, if they're playing it this way, is they get that world title back at Bound for Glory.
Fair enough. Well, Spaz saying, what if Fatal Influences grab the Knockout tag titles?
Ooh, Lord.
Well, who has more of a women's tag division? TNA, WWE, or AEW? I only threw the last one in because they don't have a tag division.
Yeah, definitely not AEW.
TNA, but they don't have enough women, right, to book it. They don't have enough women.
Right. I think TNA and WWE might be on the same footing when it comes to the Knockouts division. Or to the women's tag team division, I should say.
Fair enough. As I randomly go to commercial.
Yeah, that was weird.
Well, and again, just pulling back the curtain of to watch TNA Plus live as you do is $9.99. To watch Netflix to watch Monday Night Raw is at least a minimum of $9.99 and all that. To have any bit of a cable package, God only knows what you're charging for that to watch, SmackDown, etc. I don't get this whole $30 crash out like that. You don't even. It's a lot of headlines and not a lot of substance to me.
I think speaking for the masses is I feel like the United States, and in a way I'm in agreement, they wanted that international type feel. The international folks.
All you need is a VPN.
And that's true, but the international folks got everything on Netflix. And it's like for us, we gotta have
Canada's just like, yeah.
And it's like for us, we gotta have, you know, ESPN, we gotta have cable for USA Network, and we gotta have and the CW, but you can also get that on.
But if you have cable, you probably
air.
got all those three, so you're all
right.
included there.
And then you gotta have Netflix as well to watch Raw and Peacock right now.
Peacock right now is Peacock's for the rest of the year. Peacock is for the library and everything going forward, which they're raising the prices, which is a bold strategy to fucking do right now.
And see, right now we don't even know if the library is staying with Peacock because that's not clear.
Well, the library to me would be such a big deal. That's almost something I would move to Netflix. Because that's the thing is they have so many assets of thing about it to halfway to trying to defend a fucking corporation, which I hate, of WWE moving this asset of moving just the PLEs. They signed $300 million a year more per year, I believe,
right?
With their whole deal. So they are still making money even more hand over fist, which realistically is not going to affect too many people if you actually read the articles. But they're now at a point to where everything that they create is such an asset of with the Peacock deal, they were having to make original content. They don't have to do anything with ESPN, and ESPN might more placate to them. Like I said, we might get a sports center at a WrestleMania and everything. We might get national broadcasting focused around WWE. That video library is gold. That's the video library is gold in any wrestling company, whether WCW, ECW, TNA, even in AEW right now. That forever, if AEW was to ever go belly up, that video library is gold.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. I think it's just the point of, you know, having multiple services to watch WWE. I think that's a lot of the fans' gripes. And then on top of that, like we are in the generation of, and I'm defending the people that don't have cable or like streaming TV.
But you even said you got YouTube TV, which from my heard is all included into this.
Right. And I'm just defending the part of we are in the generation where like my generation and people a little younger, we don't subscribe to cable, right? So we have the multiple streaming services. That's their way of, you know, watching things. So if they feel like they can't, you know, pay $30 and for an extra streaming service, I get it. Now I don't have that problem because I do have YouTube TV. I split the cost of YouTube TV with my parents. They basically watch YouTube TV because they're old and they can't get with the times.
Hey, what you fucking trying to say? I got YouTube TV.
Because they can't get with the times of just having Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus. They still got to scroll through a guide. So I mean, other than that,
some people like TV Guide channel and everything, but even then, still, that's the thing is to make that case as we've got the tag team match going on, by the way, but if to make that case of, oh, well, it's gone mostly to streaming, most of that generation knows how to pirate shit. This is the Napster, this is a LimeWire generation. I was there. And again, we've even said it, and I put it in the Discord. You've probably talked about it again. And any post that I see, even regardless of explaining where it'll still be attached to cable providers or not, everybody jokes about pirating or getting a VPN and everything, which you can do a free VPN. If you don't know, trust me, I will let you know because it's the one I use. Hashtag not sponsored. But that's how you get everything. You will get literally, that's why KJ's sitting back, relaxing, maxing all cool, sitting out beachside by the pool and everything. Because this is only affecting the U.S. audience of now I'm spread across 4 or 5 platforms of where do I get my WWE. I've got to watch cable for the weekly, or I've got to watch Netflix for Raw. I've got to watch cable, USA for SmackDown. I've got to go to Peacock for the library, and I've now got to go, or in 2026, go to ESPN for the PLEs.
I mean, to me, To me, that's a lot. But when it comes for me, see, my stuff is bundled, so I don't pay for Netflix. My phone carrier does. That's not a big thing for me. There's a couple of other streaming services that I have that I don't pay for. As it looks like Zaya,
yes, the Zayas pick up the win, as you need
as I call that.
Yeah, but you need to. Everybody's out there calling you of saying, "How do you got all these hookups of things you don't pay for, sir?" That let us know.
Hey, T-Mobile said we're gonna give you Netflix for free if you got 2
Hashtag
lines.
Not sponsored, by the way.
I said, brother, you want to do 2 lines with me so we can get Netflix for free? Absolutely.
Again, hashtag not sponsored, not by Mint Mobile, not by Verizon, not by T-Mobile, none of that. We will take all comers. Pause. But yeah.
Now, but like I was saying before, like, see, a lot of this stuff doesn't affect me because I'm good at finding stuff for free. I also, and I don't know who it was in the chat, says they have their own Plex server. I have my own Plex server loaded up with a bunch of movies and TV shows. I know how to get stuff for free. I'm just saying. I'm not telling my secrets, but I know how to get stuff for free.
That's
I'm good over here.
Generation, though. So that's why it's like, you're the ones that are known for hacking and shit. You're anonymous and everything. So then why are you crashing out over like $10 more? Like, if you don't get one Uber Eats order, you're good for WWE for the month. Keep it a buck. Let's be honest here.
No, that's true. A lot of folks are crashing out and they don't know how
without reading the article. That's the biggest thing is quit just reading the fucking headlines on anything. This isn't even just exclusive to this article. Quit just reading the fucking headlines. Actually do your research. Actually look into things.
Oh, no, absolutely. And I agree with you. I'm there with you. I'm just being a little defended tonight. Not for me, but for some people. But you're absolutely right. And then, Jose, to answer your question, 2 lines of what? 2 phone lines. So we have to have 2 phone lines.
I got 2 phones, one for the plug and one for the load.
Actually, we have to have 2 phone lines to have Netflix for free and Apple TV Plus for free. So like I said, I be getting the hookups.
So, folks, if you want your hookups, make sure you DM Ringsider Anthony. All of his socials are scrolling right below so you can flood his inbox because he got 2 phones, one for the plug and one for the load. Yeah, but that's the thing that's the funniest thing to me is you have this melding of the generation that had to pay $50, $60 and still pays $50, $60 for a pay-per-view if you're talking AEW or at times TNA. Just saying. Or that pirate everything that literally are Captain Jack Sparrow with black pearls out there and act like this is some major inconvenience. Like, I have never seen more people praise the WWE Network in the past 48 hours than I have in the entire existence of the WWE Network.
No, agreed. I've seen right before we jumped on stream, I saw somebody like downplay VPNs, and that like bothered me because I've had a VPN, not just I haven't really had a VPN for the WWE stuff, but for the stuff I do with my Plex server, I have a VPN. But I recently, over the past 2 years, started to use the VPN more. I don't pay $50 for an AEW show because I turn that VPN on and I get it cheaper. That's the same thing for TNA. I'm just telling you, this is how you do things. This is how you do it. Exactly. I'm just telling you, for folks who are stressing out, I pay a yearly subscription to a VPN, and it probably saves me a whole lot of money to consume wrestling. And most times on here, when we're doing the TNA pay-per-views, I didn't pay $40 for that TNA pay-per-view because I turned on that VPN and I got it for cheaper. I'm just telling you. Try a VPN out for 1 month.
I'm gonna fight you now because we be paying them costs. We be paying them costs, and you've been holding secrets.
So this is what I'll do. I'll tell you this: get a VPN for 1 month. Ask me any questions in my Twitter DMs, in my in Discord, and I will help you and teach you how to use it. I've helped some people that's like in my core group from TikTok. I've helped them get a VPN, and they consistently used it for not WWE, TNA pay-per-views and AEW pay-per-views. I'm just telling you, I know how to get stuff for cheap. So
I sat there and got a VPN so I could sync up with KJ on the Canadian feeds and everything, and everyone out there calling me frugal and rich and everything. I was bougie because I had a VPN. You're out here coming in like the Second City Saint, with I will give you a VPN and you a VPN. But no, again, I think it's just funny of that to me there is three categories in this whole situation. There is the people that already have cable, that already had everything going on, that it's not going to affect them. Most of them are probably just crashing out because they want engagement. You have a group of people that have a VPN that know I can probably actually get this the cheapest possible at all. And then you have the slim margin that, to me, I feel was either already pirating it or only watched the pay-per-views on Peacock and didn't watch anything else. And now they're finding out that they might have to pay more.
Yeah, absolutely. That's basically what it is. I mean, you summed it up perfectly. As we got the elegances, and Ash is upset that they lost, but like one thing and that I'll mention, there's a person that I know from the TikTok universe where a couple of months ago, she was about to buy Double or Nothing on one of those other websites because it wasn't being bought on, it wasn't going to be shown on Triller TV. And she was about to pay $50. And I sent her a message. I was like, don't you have a VPN? And she was like, yeah. I said, turn that VPN on to another location. I gave her the location. And I said, you'll get half off for that Double or Nothing pay-per-view.
Do you not like us?
I'm just...
Right, but like... we watch those shows too, right?
I do. I thought y'all knew because KJ has a VPN. Like, I'm 99% sure he does.
No, he does. He's just Canadian, motherfucker. He lives in Canada.
Well, now y'all know.
Now we know after the fact. Thank you for telling us after the car crash. Oh, you should have taken a left turn. No, thank you for that, by the way. And this is, as I've got First Class coming out right now, and this is First Class issue with Anthony of you telling me you had to hook up this whole time. We watched all the shows, and you thought just because KJ lived in Canada, he had to hook up.
Okay. I'll make you feel better. Don't feel bad. I live in the same house.
Don't feel bad. Get glad.
I live in the same house with my brother, and I just showed him about the VPN, and we've known each other.
We go both whoop your ass. Is that what you're saying?
He literally last
back again. Check in the record. Let's begin.
He literally last weekend sent me a text, was like, what's that information? Because I taught him how to look up stuff on Netflix if it's not on the Netflix.
I just got VPN and I've advertised it, even not sponsored, on the fucking channel of saying this is what I use. It works for me. It's free, costs you nothing, and all of that. It might have its issues at times or two, but yeah, I've just been getting into the VPN game, and you had the whole fucking hookup this whole time. I've been out here living with fucking Walter White, Kaiser Sose out here. Anthony's the one who knocks.
I just be frugal. I like cheap stuff. Give me the cheap.
Yeah,
stuff.
But sharing is caring, my bro.
Okay, well we all know now. But if you got any more questions, hit me up. I'll answer them.
Fair enough. Well, I got the First Class. You got any questions for them? Us Canadians are pirates. They sail the higher seas. Cool. Oh, Chanel shout out saying I travel to Universal Studios once a year and they gift us a year of Peacock for free. That's how I've done it technically to pay for it. Jesus. Well, let's be honest. If you're paying for a whole, I don't know how far away you live from Universal, but if you're taking a whole trip to Universal for a free year of Peacock, I know Universal's great, but are you winning out in the end?
So side note for a second, it looks like
Just side note to the side note
has tore his ACL and has to have surgery.
Are you sure he's not going to just drop his crutches?
I hope he doesn't. I was just about to say, I hope he doesn't do the Seth Rollins. Oh, Rich Swann is back. And he was one of the original, he was the original member of First Class with AJ Francis.
Yeah. Well, and I get the whole, and I've halfway talked about it of, oh, well, now every injury is going to seem fake. But I think that's what makes Seth Rollins' ruse that much better.
Oh,
because he pulled the wool over everybody's eyes.
He did. Yeah, because he got me. I really thought it was real, but right. It wasn't.
Yes, Halloween Horror Nights. Chanel, I want any information and any footage you can get me about the Wyatt Six house at Halloween Horror Nights. I am very intrigued and very excited about all of that they're including, and I just wish they would have managed to do that when Bray was still initially doing the Fiend and everything. That would have been really awesome, and it fit too perfectly. Like it's a perfect fit. I'm more upset that I'm now getting Fiend Halloween Horror Nights gear than I was when the Fiend was here.
Yeah, I want to see all about that. The Bray Wyatt house, horror house. I think that's gonna be cool. I wish I could go to it, but yeah, it definitely looks cool.
Right. You don't use your phone inside the house, Nick. What? Oh, I see. Either way, I'll take all the footage outside of it, anything going up to it, leading up to it. Like I said, I just saw even a bit of the merch, and you've got like Fiend gear that I would buy on WWE Shop that's out there at Universal and everything as KC and AJ.
Yeah. And it looks like, AJ Francis is basically kicking KC Navarro out the group, which I feel like is a good thing, because when he comes back, if he's really injured, we can put him right in that X division.
Is this one of those of, the second you get hurt, I kick you out? So who fills in?
It's Rich Swann.
Well, he was already there. Why do you? So you can have three. This isn't a two-man seater.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't know if you remember, they kind of let Rich Swann go from TNA because
he had.
Yeah. So I kind of see what they're doing here in a way, but I get what you're saying. It definitely could be three.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to swerve when you drive on this roadway.
Oh yeah,
they were just dog walking him up before you.
Exactly.
I was a champ, bitch. You lucky you have testicles still, thanks to this man.
Right?
What are you saying? Is AJ Francis the guy forever? TNA. That's your ceiling.
I kind of think so at this point. He's found his footing in TNA. I mean, being fired from a company twice is hard. So I think, yeah, TNA might be his long goal.
I mean, you got 3 strikes. You can go for the third.
Right?
I get the point of this segment. I don't get the rationale behind it, because it's one of those of like, this feels, as they kick the crutches out from underneath him, this feels very New Day.
It does.
Last day, New Day, Big E, of like, because you broke your neck, you're out. You just showed up now. It's like, I'm on crutches, bitch. I had tried to help us win.
Exactly. No, it does feel exactly like that. I think the funniest part is when AJ Francis says, you lose all the time because you're a loser. I found that funny. I don't know why.
Isn't it ironic? Now, curious minds would ask,
Mhm.
is Casey Navarro going somewhere else? Because Casey Navarro is still very young. Was kind of, you would expect on TNA for a deal for probably a short term. So probably what, 2 to 3 years.
Mhm.
This might be the end of his deal. Does he show up in an NXT? Does he show up in an AEW or anything? Because if you're writing a character off like this, and especially a young guy that you may have not exactly signed long term, that might be the last time you see him.
I don't when it comes to his contract status, I don't know how long he signed, and I think he actually just signed late last year. Most TNA contracts are about a year or so that could be the case. Definitely could be the case of him going somewhere else. I mean, he's young. He has that ability to really go somewhere else.
Well,
I hope
is he like an Ace Austin? Like, because I know we kind of had this similar conversation with Ace Austin.
now he's not an Ace Austin because Ace Austin he had been with TNA for a lengthy period of time. Casey Navarro has come in and out of TNA, but never has had an actual contract. From my understanding, he's had like one-off matches. He just became a contracted superstar like last year, so it kind of depends on what his deal is. But if he goes somewhere else, NXT would be a good place for him.
Fair enough. Well, speaking of somebody who just left a good place, of Mara Sade was a. Am I saying it any sort of right way? I just want to
I
keep calling her Jakara Jackson because that's what she should have stayed as. That's what she should have been, and everything.
I think it's Sade, even though it doesn't have like an H in it. I think it's Sade, but I don't know.
Killing me softly. But yeah, of how do you feel she's in TNA?
I'm not surprised because when she got released from WWE and she made her first interview, she had said in so many words that she was in talks with TNA. She was like, she said, we're working things out, but I can't talk about it right now. So I'm not surprised at all.
Fair enough. Well, not Jakar Jackson is not taking on Harley Cameron right now, but I am killing me softly with Sade, as I will be back, sir.
All right, as Nick takes a pause here, so y'all are stuck with me for a little bit, but we have Mara making her TNA singles debut. I don't know who the other wrestler is. I know they had her name up there, but we shall see how this match goes. I'm gonna go through the comments. I know Nick and I have been talking a lot today, so we really haven't went through the comments a little bit. But Steve Chambers says, how far am I behind? Trick promo here, watching on Access TV, which I believe over the past couple of weeks on Access TV they've been airing at 9 for some odd reason. But you are at the beginning of the show. Trick kicked off the show. So you are at the beginning of the show, Mr. Chambers. MDB has got me corrected here. It is Vicious Vicky versus Mara. So that is who Amara is facing. And yeah, MDB, tonight we've just been talking and we have neglected the chat. So I'm going to try to get back to the chat a little bit by Nick is gone. Damien says Ace Austin will I guess work very well in NXT. I think so. I think so. Ace Austin would be good for NXT. We got Jose down here says Nick and Anthony are making us feel like a third wheel. Yeah, we've made you guys feel like a third wheel tonight because we've just been talking. As it looks like Mara's about to end this match here very quickly. Ooh, that's a nice finishing move called Finish Her. 1, 2, 3, as Mara has defeated Vicious Vicky. I think I got her name right. And again, this was Mara's debut singles match in TNA last week. I think it was. She faced she was in a 6-person tag team match, and she was teaming with the Inspiration. If I can remember who she was actually fighting last week, it might have been Fatal Influence, but I can't remember. But yeah, so she debuted in a 6-person tag team match with the Inspiration. But I think she's going to Miss Jackson. Jakara is going to be good for the Knockouts division. They need some star power in there. I think she'll add a little bit of star power to the Knockouts division. So I'm excited about her being in TNA. And it looks like we got the announcements for what's happening next. So up next, we got JC Jane versus Ash by Elegance for the TNA Knockouts World Championship, which is going to be a great match as we are at commercial. So I'll go through the comments a little bit more here. Damien, thoughts on Leon Slater versus Cedric Alexander? That is going to be a match. They haven't officially announced the match card for Emergence, like all the matches going down. But Leon Slater, if anybody watched the Slamversary Fade to Black documentary, AJ Styles gave Leon Slater some of the best advice that you can ever give a person, and he's really high on Leon Slater. So this match is going to be good. Cedric Alexander versus Ali at Slammiversary was a banger, and I think Cedric Alexander versus Leon Slater will be just as good. It may even be a little bit better. So I'm excited for it. Denisha has corrected me. So it was Ash by Elegance. So it was the Elegance brand. It was the Elegance brand versus the Inspiration and Mara. And that's how she made her debut in TNA in a 6 knockout tag team match. So that was actually a fun match to watch. And if you haven't, you can go back and watch it. I like that. MDB says Mustafa Ali. I like that. Anthony says it's weird saying my own name. TNA doesn't have no overruns. That is the truth. TNA does not have overruns. I've never really seen TNA actually overrun in my time of watching. My dude Boston, what's up? What's up? Ooh, I like this question. 316. Rank the Shield members in order 1, 2, 3. So I'll do 3, 2, 1. So I'll say 1 for like my favorite. 3 is Dean Ambrose. 2, which is debatable, but 2 is 2 is Seth Rollins, and 1 is Roman Reigns. I'm a huge Roman Reigns fan. I have a lot of Roman Reigns merch. I'm big on Roman Reigns. And have been for a very long time, and not just his time as tribal chief and all that. I've been riding with him since the terrible big dog days. I never rooted against that man. I've been a Roman fan since day one. So MDB says it's always been Roman, Seth, Moxley. Yeah, I never really resonated with Dean Ambrose as a whole. There were some times that I liked him, but other times, yeah, I wasn't really behind Dean Ambrose that much. As TNA is coming back from commercial, I'm laughing because this is exactly right. Everybody knows that Moxley was the Michelle Williams. We can't be dogging Michelle Williams like that, but she was. Michelle Williams is Michelle Williams. That's how we'll just say it like that. But as I was saying, they are showing the like the preview of Slammiversary Fade to Black. So if you have the TNA Plus app, this is a good watch. This is definitely a good watch. If you haven't, I feel like every TNA, super fan like myself, had to watch this, to be honest. TNA can't afford overruns. I don't like that, MDB. They've had overruns before. One of the live episodes was an overrun, I believe. Don't be dogging my TNA like that. We got to stand behind TNA. Daniel down here says, happy Thursday. Hey, everyone. What's up, Daniel? And I've taken the term that KJ coins Happy Friday Jr. to work, and everybody loves that because I'll put it in the chat every Thursday morning, Happy Friday Jr. Because that's exactly what it is, just counting down to Friday. In fact, Moxley might as well be the one that no one remembers. I like that. Boston, as far as drawing power and overness, not built on opinion but fact, the only answer is Roman, Seth, and Mox. I definitely can agree there. Yeah, Roman, after Roman came out of the just terrible big dog era, even though I was behind it 100%, Roman really skyrocketed to the top. And yeah, it's definitely Roman, Seth, Mox with no added opinions. It's just kind of factual information. Roman draws the money. Roman draws the, and I'm not saying Seth doesn't, but Roman draws the money and the fans bigger than Seth Rollins. So absolutely. MDB says Jose, she was the girl in Destiny's Child before Michelle. Yes. That's why I said no one remembers. And as they're showing NXT from this past Tuesday, and Joe Hendry is coming out of a refrigerator, which is so weird. Oh, so he's wrestling next week against Charlie Dempsey, I think. 316 with a really good question. Rank the 4 horsewomen. Oh, yeah, I know this is highly debatable, and I'm going to go 1 to 4. I'm doing Charlotte. I'm doing Charlotte, Becky. I'm a flip and do Bailey and then Sasha. I think that's how I'm gonna do it. So drop y'all fatal 4 horsewomen, but that's how I'm gonna do it. Charlotte, Becky, Bailey, and Sasha. So that's how I'm gonna leave it. So we got Moose. We got Moose on NXT, which I kind of missed. But Moose kind of defending NXT a little bit from Dark State. So this is kind of new to me a little bit. As Bradley says, I never heard of LaToya Lockett. I plead the fifth. Thank you. Like I said, it's the one everybody forgot. We always know Michelle Williams, Beyonce, and I'm blanking on her name, and I can't believe I'm blanking on her name. Shoot, that is
Kelly Rowland. Speaking of everyone that everyone forgot, but Kelly yes, Rowland. I am, like, I guess, the her name. Jackson brother, the 4th Destiny's Child member, but I'm the one everyone forgot. I don't know. Yes, I see you, Jose. I see you, MDB. We see you. We see your jokes, but we also need to click on other people besides just the 2 of y'all. But yeah, as I have Ash by Elias coming out here, and of Moose, Trick, Oba, and Javon versus my favorite faction in all of pro wrestling. Everybody knows Dark State, Deep Fake, can't keep the mask straight. What the fuck?
Dark State.
Just tell me you're going to lose this match without telling me you're going to lose this match.
Exactly. Dark State is so bad. This is one thing me and you agree on. I think KJ is.
I get so much flack for hating Dark State on Tuesday.
Dark State is terrible. And I think KJ is in an alternate universe on Earth 2 or 3 because
he's on Earth Canada.
Dark State is so bad.
Well, I still have yet to fully hear, but I know everybody was taking their promo from this past weekend like, hey, yo, bro, what the fuck you just say?
But yeah, when it comes to Dark State, it's just, what have they done other than turn the lights off and rush the
There's
ring?
no motive, there's no direction. They exist. They are retribution without the reckoning, without the havoc, without Mustafa Ali, all of that.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. As we have the TNA Knockouts World Title match, Ash versus JC Jane, which I'm actually really coming behind JC Jane just as a wrestler in general. First match I've ever seen her fully wrestle was the one at Evolution against Jordan Grace, and I thought that match was great. I think she's building a name for herself, and you know, I'm behind her a little bit more after watching Slamversary Fade to Black, as she says she's trying her hardest to just kind of make a name for herself and put herself out there. And she said she was very honored to be that woman, to have that history making moment. So I'm kind of behind her.
She, again, it's still the most infamous call I felt I would make on this as Nice Man doing the intro for Ash. But when she kicked Gigi and I was like, and Marty just kicked Sean,
yeah,
I am eating those fucking words harder than anybody else out there, because she has proven me wrong on every level. She has outclassed her on promos, on in-ring, on just all of her character work. You don't expect her to win, but even right now, as Ash is doing her little entrance and everything, just the little faces from JC.
Yeah,
you feel like she's a fucking champion. Like she's meant to kind of be here, even though you weren't supposed to be here, which is kind of us. We ain't supposed to be here, but we're gonna be here, and we're just keep disrupting this shit.
Exactly. You got JC over here giving stank face to Ash Bialik.
Yeah, they're just, who the fuck is you face? Which, by the way, I also love MDB saying, I just love giving Nick flack for everything. I thought that was Anthony's gimmick.
Oh, I don't know. I guess he's referring to giving you flack for the whole Dark State thing.
Well, I don't know, but I think it's because they didn't get acknowledged and everything. Love us. And where was it? There was something from Jose too. He was out there of Destiny's Child tried doing gangster music once upon a time. Fucking when? Right, can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills? I don't cat. So you are now. Yeah. Yes, KJ lives in Bizarro World, also known as Canada. Yes, we are on our way with Ash by Elegance versus JC Jane. Let us know who you taking, who you got, folks.
Yes, just remember, we can't put up a poll, so you just got to drop it in the chat.
You got to imagine our polls. Pause.
I'm taking, surprisingly, I'm actually taking JC. I want Ash
JC wins,
but I think JC wins this.
Who do you think on the TNA roster is the one that takes the title offer?
I really want it to be Masha, but I honestly, I don't know. I know I forgot her name, but she basically said she wants the Knockouts title. Indy Hartwell. In that Slamversary documentary, she was like, I'm coming for that Knockouts title. So that would be cool. Indy Hartwell taking the title from JC
Her versus Candice LeRae. I can't wait to be bored to sleep with that match.
But I'm with Masha. I'm gonna stick with my choice of Masha taking that title back.
Masha. Well, MDB, Masha can't cut the mustard. I vote for Ash by Elegance. So somebody out there, Hassan out there with you. What, when, who, what, where, when, and how. Right now, we are live for Ash and JC Jane world title, knockout title. So that's the who, what, when, and where, and why. As Masha shows up and instantly just attacks Ash, so it has to be instant disqualification.
Yeah, disqualification.
So is this setting up triple threat at Genesis?
Yeah, absolutely. Not to correct you, but Emergence. But yes, absolutely.
Whatever. Genesis, Emergence.
We do so much on this channel, we just forget. It's cool. But there goes Fatal Influence. So yeah,
no one has pay-per-view names like TNA. Emergence, Resurgence, Genesis, Negligent.
Victory Road.
Yeah, Victory Road. And that's a known one. I was just saying some shit that they don't know.
Right.
So
Heather and
all the tag teams coming out. So we're getting all the tag team knockouts tag belts.
And there goes Zaya Brookside and Lei Ying Lee.
Hard to keep a Zaya down.
Okay, never mind. I was about to say I'm trying to understand why Xia Li went after Ash, but there goes the inspiration. Right?
Can I say something? And I'm trying to be nice. Maxine Dupree comes down to the ring better than they do. It's like, you don't look like wrestlers at all. You look like moms in an Old Navy commercial. Especially with them denim ass skirt bullshit.
I think it's even crazy of you saying moms in a Navy Federal. Navy Federal. That's the credit union. Navy, Navy commercial.
General, save some time.
But because they are moms now, like they literally are moms now, so it makes sense. So yeah, the commentators are saying we got a huge question mark now with that Knockouts World title, so it's definitely setting up. I'm surprised they haven't really announced any matches tonight for Emergence.
But it's
Wikipedia has the whole card up, but I don't want to look at it.
Competitors outside of Masha.
Say that again.
I said it was all tag team competitors that showed up. There was no singles competitors outside of Masha.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
Speaking of tag team competitors, is I got the Hardy Boys who were also in the crowd at SummerSlam.
Right. And Bound for Glory just getting the glorious, reviews or shout outs from the WWE announcers. I like that.
I'm just looking and appreciating the fourth rope tag team title that Hardy has on his shoulder. I was like, that's respectfully way better than probably any other tag team title out there. Because that's that old school, halfway NWA, halfway remember when you had Raw and SmackDown had different tag team title holders and everything when they really tried to do the brand split. That's what that kind of looks like the old school SmackDown kind of WCW-ish, NWA-ish tag titles.
Yeah, absolutely. I like them. They look nice. So the Emergence announcement is regarding the TNA World Tag Team Championships. I think that's what Tom Hannafin just said.
Which they also just signed new deals, by the way, of Tom Hannafin and Master Rehal.
Yeah, I feel like this is probably biased. I just feel like they're the best commentary team right now. I do like the WWE commentary team.
Which team? Because they all fucking interchangeable.
I really like I'm blanking on names tonight. I'm so sorry. Michael Cole, and is it Michael Cole and Corey Graves right now doing Raw?
It is Michael. Yes, it is Michael Cole and Corey Graves doing Raw. It is Corey Graves, Booker T and now you're making me blanket on names. Who's doing NXT? Because I almost said Ian Riccaboni. I was like, nope, that's AEW. And then you have Wade Barrett and Tessitore doing SmackDown.
So if I was, I'm gonna exclude NXT. If I was ranking them from my own personal taste, it would be the TNA commentary team, Michael Cole and Corey Graves.
Vince Joseph, thank you.
Yeah, Michael Cole and Corey Graves. I've always been a fan of Corey Graves. I was highly upset when they replaced him with Pat McAfee. I know a lot of people like Pat McAfee, but
you know what, Pat? You know what? Why? Pat McAfee, why?
I'm a Corey Graves guy. And then the SmackDown tag team commentary team. Tessitore has grown on me. So I kind of like him. I despise the commentary team in AEW. I can't stand Excalibur. Tony Schiavone gets on my nerves. I do like Taz. Taz is pretty cool, and I mean he's done commentary work a good portion of his career. But those other two, please get them off my screen. I don't want to hear them at all.
But I digress, to quote Taz. Yes, he said WWE buried him out. Who? What? When? Oh, burned him out. With the whole Pat thing of, I think it plays into college football season's about to pick up. The NFL season's picking up and it also burned me out. Well, and now with everything, we might be switching up the tag team or the commentary teams.
Yeah, it looks like Tessitore might be doing something with football too.
He's kind of always been doing that. He's still on a random Fox College Game Day or something like that. He'll pop in. He's not exactly like a McAfee who was on College Game Day. I think it's going to move to, and this is just off the top of my head, it would be moving to Tessitore and Graves on Raw and Cole and Barrett on SmackDown. Like I said, I've heard it's more of Michael Cole is going to get someone new on SmackDown, or someone more legitimate, because it was always McAfee with him. But it'll be an interesting move, what have you. And I like that Corey Graves has kind of moved past that whole, the issue when he was just put in NXT and had no way out and got vocal about it.
Right. As for a moment here, I'm gonna leave you guys with Mr. Nick. So let me see if I can get this right without Nick doing it for me.
Man's got to hit the right production beats and everything like that. As Anthony's taking a pause for the cause, is how fitting as I got Santina Manella from one funny Italian to another funny Italian to put myself over here. But yeah, Santino coming out here with his Emergence announcement. Nick, favorite song from Destiny's Child? I will know. Can you pay my bill? Can you pay my telephone bill? I don't think you can. So you no. That when it comes to Destiny's Child, that would be my song to go to. I think eventually Vic Joseph, will be called up to the main roster as commentary. Yes or no? I mean, it's a little, what seat does he fill? So you just you leave Booker T by himself? You leave Booker T and Corey Graves as the commentary for NXT? I still wish they could use and would use a Morrow or anything, especially maybe a bit with this move to ESPN. I know everyone's going to be like, so Stephen A is going to show up on a fucking pre-show. Don't talk about it and it won't happen. But as Santino's bring up a tag team match. So the Knockouts World Tag Team match of Fatal Influence versus the Elegance brand versus the Inspiration versus Lee and Brookside. So the Zayas versus the Inspiration versus the Elegances versus Fatal Influence for the Knockouts tag titles has been announced, has been added to Emergence. Exuberance, all the EX words. But yeah, the commentary team is always a a big thing that's funny because it's always a little nice little background soundtrack to your pro wrestling. And I just appreciate, on a whole other side note, of anybody that halfway, makes us their soundtrack to pro wrestling. But as I have the Nemesis coming out, but Cole and Barrett works, Tessitore and Graves would be interesting. I don't know where you start throwing in extra people. Is McAfee done as a commentator? Do we stop doing the wishy-washy, the inny-outy? I mean, was he less well received on the second go-around than he was on the first go-around? As the Nemesis giving Santino the business. The jelly got rolled. Yes. That's a good one. Jumping is my favorite. Jumping. I had to literally play that out of my head to try and remember that. That's a deep cut. Everybody in the chat is jumping. Yeah, so you should jump over, though, to that merch store. If I can find the slide, as I went the wrong way. But yes, you should already be jumping over that subscribe button, that bell notification, all of that, as I missed all the buttons and missed all the things, but we will be back at it like a jackrabbit tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown. What's next for now babyface John Cena? What's happening with Brock Lesnar? Does he show up? Babyface new champion Cody Rhodes. SmackDown popping off, but yes, we will be back at like a jackrabbit, live and direct in full effect for Friday Night SmackDown. Yeah, I must have missed it, but I got still the announcements as Santino's going back at the Nemesis. Emergence is now Ryan Nemeth versus the hometown man, aka Cody Deaner. We shirt people. Yes, but I can't find the graphic or the image, and I'm sure Anthony will come back and make me look a fool, or KJ, the voice of Beyond, will start playing an advertisement or anything. But yes, 100%. We got, the merch store, the Discord, the Twitters, the Instagrams. We got anything and everything for your pro wrestling needs. And again, often imitated, never replicated, never duplicated. Trust me, we out here more than anybody else out here. 10 toes down, deep on the streets post. As I'm getting a highlight video for pretty much just the X division of, Cardona, Leon Slater, everybody. Hometown man is a great stupid gimmick. I love it. Yeah, it is very much that old school territory-ish kind of gimmick. It fits a wee bit with, TNA of when they had Shark Boys and Suicides and everything. Say my name, no one is around you. Oh, that music video. Yeah. What was that, the music video, or was it Bills to where they were cutting color to color with outfits and the whole setup and everything? But speaking of switching the setups, as I've got the Good Hands and Tasha Steele coming up right now. So we're getting Mustafa Ali. How do you please? 1, 2, 3, taking on Joe Hendry. I can find you the world. Shining, simmering slideshow. There we go. Yes, we got Mustafa Ali looking jacked as hell, by the way. I know still could compete in the 205 division, but I don't know if he qualifies at 205. Looking at him. Main event? Is this the main event? Yeah, because we already got Macklin. We already got, we're about to get Hendry and Ali. Got that. We already got the women's title match. We already got the women's tag team match. We already got Mare, Sade, Sase. Hey, what do you say? showing up. We had Christ Almighty. We had Trick and we had now we got Joe Hendry. Why am I blanking so hard on the Cobra, on Santino's name? I'm a terrible Italian. I blanked on Santino's name. The vitamins are hitting hard on a Thursday night at 9:30, apparently. But yeah, so we might be down to the nitty gritty here, folks. We're down to the main event of the evening of Joe Hendry taking on Mustafa Ali, as both men got security here. And again, this is one of those that you're surprised at the talent level that's in this company. Like, and this ain't for a title. This ain't for a world title shot. This, I don't even know if this was for a world title opportunity. But we got the whole crowd swaying and singing for Joe Hendry. But I don't know if the random fridge spots and the random cutaways on NXT, if Joe Hendry still is over, is still as enjoyable, as still as the draws that he was before, or if he's just kind of getting past a, hey, what do you say, of is the gimmick outstaying its welcome a little bit, of does he need to go away and refresh, of I would rather see Joe be going after world titles instead of going after side quests. And I think at this point, he has nothing left to do but side quests because he's completed the missions. Joe Hendry glitches. Yeah, slightly off-putting. Joe still gets the pops. The nitty-gritty with the two-tit. Yeah. I tried to ask that Lord Ness Monster. He asked down asking me for $350. It's his song. Yeah. Is it the same case with Seth Rollins? Is it the Chris Jericho Judas effect of, even though the fans may feel differently, they cheer for the song? They want to have the same song, and that's all that matters at this point. What's your early prediction for the rematch, Riddle versus Dijak? I did not know that was happening, and I have to be reminded of where that unless that was NXT, that would have happened initially to be the rematch. But yeah, I'm going to always go with the Dijakinator. Yeah, pause. Yeah, you're going to take Dijak. Yeah. And is Matt Riddle, respectfully, one of the biggest what if cases of, like, if you didn't completely lose your fucking marbles, what would have been with Matt Riddle after Rated RK Bro and all of that? He was there, and then he just went all the fucking way sideways, and I don't know what to make of it because he's kind of just now been stuck there. Is this one of those of drugs are bad, vitamins are bad? I don't think so, but yeah. Cornette said, if all you need to get over is a good song, then we should have had Elton John wrestling for the championship on WrestleMania. Well, that sounds very much also like the guy yelling down the escalator out of SummerSlam and everything, to where the entire arena as they're leaving is still singing Seth Rollins' song of oh, and he's just screaming at the top of his lungs that all they had. That's all he has is that song. He can't do anything else. I think Seth Rollins is over. I get that the song probably needs to change. It's a little, he's very much a babyface when he's trying to be in a heel world. But Joe Hendry, I think, is losing steam further and further. The longer we go, the further and further we're getting away from him being the guy, outside of he's just the meme guy. Are we transitioning to Joe Hendry's just the meme guy instead of he's the guy? Because now that he went for the world, he won the world title, he had the match on WrestleMania, he's gone back at the world title and everything, lost it, didn't follow through. has he been a little 23 skidoo and just out there floating in the winds, just hitting side quests now? As I don't know if we're back in action. I'm just a dark. Okay, so now we literally cut to a video package from TNA, but I was just darkness imprisoning me. He's always been a meme guy. Yeah, but sometimes the meme guy can be more than a meme guy. That makes sense. I like watching Cornette Wrestling Stories in Collection. Fair enough. Well, shout out Jim. I won't deny I've liked very much recently his like the agent stories fitting with TNA of going through of back to old, Hernandez matches and old pay-per-views and everything like that. I've seen him go through the agent reports and all that and seeing what that actually entails. I guess paired with seeing WWE Unreal, which I guess that's what that entails. If you're Joseph Parks Abyss there working under Bruce Pritchard. But yeah, I like some stuff from Jim. Bailey or John Cena, WWE or AEW or TNA. Alan, I need a halfway a little bit more context. But can I say both WWE? Because they're both there, and I don't think either leave there. Jose, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean, my guy. As we are underway with, like I said, and I think we've all established this is the main event of the evening of Mustafa Ali taking on Joe Hendry. So let me know who you're taking for this match. As I'm going to take Ali. I'm going to take Mustafa Ali. I'm starting to really wonder, and I know me and Anthony have halfway talked about it, and even a little bit with the side quests and everything. Is Joe not long for TNA? Is he now just using his time in TNA to put other people over and all of that? And Ali's a guy that could very much do a ton of service from getting put over in TNA from Joe Hendry. So I like it. I just wonder, is Joe Hendry just kind of always going to get pushed as the guy, but never fully the guy? You get what I'm saying? And they're still gone. Well, he's just on a pause for the cause of they're loud, they're loud. Trust me, I just took mine before he took his. Tag team back again. Mustafa for the win. Yada, I mean. Ali for the win. I bet an NXT guy is going to interfere and Joe is going to lose. Would you like to name said NXT guy? You just going to go on the whole roster honor system of someone from NXT will show up. As Mustafa out here, am I convincing myself, or is he actually out here with like the green Power Ranger attire on a little bit? Which, shout out, you let me know who your favorite Power Ranger is. Random side thought. And I will accept no answers outside either the green Power Ranger or the white Power Ranger. And yes, I know they were the same fucking person, but still, they had two entirely different talents, two different move sets. Yeah. Mustafa Ali out here like the Green Ranger. I believe in Joe Hendry. Classic English style. World of sports style. A little bit of just takeovers. Yeah, a little bit. It's a little that Pete Dunne, Tyler Bader, I guess now at this point, all the El Grande style. Shout out to the Gold Zero Ranger. Is that a fucking thing? Well, I guess Anthony is the Gold Zero Ranger of the channel. Popping in here, coming in to save the daylight at the moonlight. Yeah, I have no idea if that's an actual Ranger. But yeah, I randomly ask people their favorite Power Ranger because I swear to God, Mustafa Ali's got green Power Ranger attire on.
The Gold Zero Ranger, I think it's actually a thing. My brother would know. He's big on Power Rangers. He still watches it to this day. So I think that's the thing. I think MDB is right.
Fair enough. I know the Green Ranger. I know the White Ranger with Sheba and all of that. And then you've got the red, yellow, all that. But yeah, to me, it was always between the Green Ranger and the White Ranger, which was always Tommy. And it's just same thing, just different powers.
Right. But yeah, I think you're right though. Ali, he's giving Green Power Ranger vibes tonight.
But how do you feel about Joe Hendry? And I know I've kind of asked you a bit of, is he out here gonna win? Still locked in with TNA? Is he out here putting other people over? I'm out of TNA. I mean, the guy's popping out of fridges. He's doing Wyatt gimmick pop-ups randomly on an NXT. He doesn't feel like he's going after a world championship right now. He feels like he's just doing side quests before he gets out.
Yeah, I definitely think he's done with the world title pursuit. If we thinking back to Slamversary, Joe Hendry was the one pinned by Trick Williams, and Joe Hendry's whole story to get to Slamversary was to redeem himself and win back the TNA World Championship. And for him taking the pinfall kind of told me, like, okay, we're kind of, I don't want to say done, but we're not putting you in the main scene anymore. This is Mike Santana's type deal.
Yeah, but so even if Joe stays with TNA, is he kind of just out of that loop? Has he gone out of that orbit a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. I just really don't see him staying with TNA, but I mean, anything could happen, right? So he might be out of that orbit for just a bit, and if he sticks around, they can definitely put him back into that world title scene.
Right. I had no idea. I guess they need to charge $29.99 a month for us to know about. Benny saying there is 29 seasons of Power Rangers. Some seasons did have different colors.
Yes, they are. There's a lot of seasons of Power Rangers, and like I said, they still come on today. And yep, and some of them seasons had different colors.
Brock Lesnar, he's the Megazord, just literally walking around. As Joe Hendry he's just walking down Ali as Ali is just running.
Yeah.
Who do you have for this match, sir?
I'm taking Ali. I'm with you. I heard you when I was on my pause. I'm definitely taking Ali.
But is that a sign that Joe Hendry's not long for the TNA world?
Oh, absolutely. I think his loss at Slamversary was the start of those signs. Ali wants the world title as well, so they got contenders. They definitely have contenders, and I don't think Joe Hendry is one of them at this point.
Last season of Power Rangers had an Orange Ranger, for God's sakes. Was his name Fanta? We've broken down to Power Rangers talk, as now we've got the good hands. Joe Hendry stuck in the middle of left and right.
Right.
As Ali hits him straight down the center. Pause.
Yeah, we went from Destiny.
Who is that, and why is he not Big Cass?
Yeah, this guy, I tried to look him up. I think he is a wrestler.
Oh, I know. I feel like I know who he is. He's been one of those of he's done kind of like the acting guild. He looks like Mr. But yeah, he's like Kratos.
Yeah.
But he looks kind of like Mr. Anderson.
He looks, yeah, he does in a way. Just in a whole black suit, looking intimidating and scary.
Is that just because he's tall?
There may be.
Here comes the man in black. The TNA defender. MDB. Close. Her name was Fern. I initially read that as Fiend.
Oh,
Fiend.
man.
Travis Scott is a Power Ranger. As we go to commercial with 10 minutes left. And so this is clearly your main event?
Yeah, this is clearly the main event. Yeah, and I just went to commercial too. I'm probably a couple of seconds behind you, but we're at the end of the show. So
fair enough. You're tall and you're not scary. Who says? I'm nice to y'all.
I like Anthony. He said Austin Powers, Destiny's Child, Power Rangers. I didn't talk about Austin Powers. I did talk about the other two.
Yeah, no, you missed or didn't miss the whole Destiny's Child conversation that popped up of, I guess, do you have an input? Do you have a weigh in on Prime Destiny's Child to you?
Survivor was always a good song. Bootylicious was a good song.
That's a Beyonce song. That's not a Destiny's Child song. That's a Beyonce song.
But that
was the start of Beyonce as Beyonce. That's
true. That's song. True. But I was always a fan of Jumpin'. That's a song.
I forgot all about that.
I feel like that's a sleeper. I really feel like that's
everyone just always remembers of either Survivor, which is just them in the Amazon, them Camacho, or Can You Pay My Bill? Can You Pay My Bill? I don't think you do. So yeah, right. That's like the bye for NSYNC. That's the Jason Waterfalls for TLC.
Right,
it's right. Like their signature kind of like Destiny's Child song is You Think of Bills.
Absolutely. And I just I think it's Bendy. Waterfalls is TLC. You were close.
Like I said, don't go Jason Waterfalls.
But yeah,
the other guys ruined that song for me. I can no longer see it as Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. It's Don't Go Jason Waterfalls. Just well, seeing Michael Keaton quote fucking TLC songs the whole movie.
Wow.
And then I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly. And then they're playing Waterfalls as a peacock flies on the screen at the end of the movie. It's cinematic gold.
What movie is this?
The other guys. Have you not seen Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell? That's a desk pop.
Oh, you said
Dwayne and Samuel L. Jackson as the hero cop. So what do we gotta do? Aim for the bushes? Aim for the bushes. They jump off the building and don't hit the bushes.
You said Will Ferrell. I don't do
Will Ferrell. You're exactly like my wife. My wife does not like Will Ferrell at all. So I love like the clips of like I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, but it's Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. She hates Will Ferrell, so I can't do it.
Like people swear by Elf, and I'm like, I've watched Elf one time and said never again.
Elf, I'm not a fan. If you want to watch a good Will Ferrell clip of watch when he has a little child playing the landlord and all of that, and it's a whole child that it like a little child yelling at him as his landlord about paying rent and everything, and the child's even swearing, and even at one point, can I say that, mommy? And then still curses and everything. It's so good. Like, I get Will Ferrell can be too much, but like Talladega Nights, I mean, there's a really Magatu from Christ, what was it? Ben Stiller, Blue Steel. What am I thinking of? But anyways, Will Ferrell, I think is he sometimes is over the top too much, but he's still good.
The only one I can
don't take no shit.
The only one I can remember a movie I watched with Will Ferrell other than Elf was Get Hard with Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, but you forget. Oh, you wouldn't know this, and I'll pull this all the way back around on you, sir. You wouldn't know he was Magatu in or he was one of the henchmen in the Austin Powers movies, to where he gets thrown at the pit of you shot me.
Definitely know that.
Yes. Now we can double up now, folks. So he's not only got to watch an Austin Powers movie, but the one with Will Ferrell in it.
No, I'm good.
You didn't like old school or any there's no Will Ferrell movie that you've liked. Not Step Brothers, not anything.
I have not
become best friends.
I haven't watched.
You can't tell me when we've been on this stream and we've had that moment of did we just become best friends that you didn't like that whole movie.
I haven't seen any Will Ferrell movies outside of Get Hard.
Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands. If you're not first, you're last.
I don't like Will Ferrell to even give him the time of day.
I'm crashing out. I'm Will Ferrell and Talladega Nights of running around the track with an invisible fire on me.
Jose says that I see joy and I says I'm good. That's not the truth. I see joy in The Conjuring, and I see joy in the new movie, The Weapons, that's coming out this weekend. And I see
Spooky dooky shit.
exactly. I'm sorry, MDB, that you frustrated with me that you spend your time thinking about the movies I haven't seen.
As we
I feel
just
like
got a
that's a you
2 count from
problem.
Joe Hendry, we've gone off the rails at this point as both left and right hand get swung into the ring.
Oh yeah, both of them are in the ring at this point.
Yeah, he's hitting up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, A, B. I thought that was fucking Loki for half a second of that. He showed back up in TNA because I saw the bald head.
Right.
How do you feel about Together?
Together.
The not James Franco, the Dave Franco horror movie and everything, since you were mentioning horror movies and all that. Or do you not know what I'm talking about?
I don't. Is that a new movie?
It's a newer one. I can move on if you don't know what I'm referencing. I mean, Christ, I could ask you how you feel about Sinners, all of that. There's been
was so good.
A whole plethora of horror movies, but 1, 2, Tasha Steele's pulling out the referee.
Tasha. I haven't seen this one yet, so I need to look that up. Tasha always getting involved.
It's very spoiler. It seems very body horror to where it's a couple that they end up. The closer they get of canoodling, the closer they literally and physically get. They kind of start to kind of meld into one person. Like imagine if you were canoodling and say your cheek gets stuck to your person's cheek and you have to pull it apart.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it is. Again, it's an aggressive movie.
Oh,
as aggressive moving, we've got Joe Hendry, right hand now, just takes a clothesline. I feel bad because I'm just designating hands, just doing this, so which one takes a bump.
Exactly. No, it's cool. It's cool. I forget their names myself. Joe Hendry might win this though.
1, 2, 3. Referee comes in. 1, 2, 2 count. I was gonna say I always hate if the whole ref has to slide in way after the fact and you still get the win. Then you just killed your opponent. Like he's just dead, right?
No,
that's the whole 60 seconds they had to sit there limp. Dave Franco played Luigi Mangione. That's straight to your back of a movie with that. Dennis and Anthony watch Bring Her Back. That's another one. Have you watched that?
That was a good one. I liked Bring Her Back. There goes Tasha getting involved again.
Sure. I guess M. Morrissey instead of W. Morrissey, fucking with the big boot.
They're calling him Agent Zero, I think.
1, 2, 3. As Ali picks up the win. How can you have the biggest person in the fucking group and try and call them Agent Zero?
Right? That's like Agent 100 or something.
One is alone.
Solid episode of TNA tonight. But yes, Bring Her Back was an excellent movie. I like that. And I think it was from the creators of Take My Hand, or what was the name of that movie?
You're gonna miss me with this one.
Yeah, I have to look it up.
But I like that random last horror conversation piece of I like that, like Jordan Peele's really open it to a lot of artsy, creative horror avenues instead of just like, here's your 15th revision of Michael Myers. Hey, here's Jason Voorhees. but he's during the day. Like, can we move past a little bit of that? And I'm a known slasher fan. I love Jason. I love Saw, but I like that you're getting different takes. Like Jordan Peele to me has done some of the best horror movies in the past decade.
That's the name of the movie. Talk to Me. Oh, Talk to Me was freaky. It was a great movie, but it was freaky. It freaked me out. But yes, you're right. I like some of the Jordan Peele. The only Jordan Peele movie I didn't like was the last one, with Keke Palmer in it.
Nope.
Yes,
yeah, there was
I didn't really like Nope.
There was Us, and then there was Nope.
Yeah, I didn't really like Nope, but I think they're coming out with a Nope 2, and since I've seen the first Nope, I gotta watch Nope 2. So
I want to watch his movie with, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a football movie, and it's got Marlon, it's got one of the Wayans brothers in it and everything, and it's him. It's called Him, and it's all about a guy who's trying to be like the top like NFL quarterback and everything, and it gets that really kind of freaky, like, you know, selling things, and yeah, it takes that pivot, and that's the thing I like seeing stuff that's normal everyday shit, and you put a spin and a pivot on it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that stuff too. I really do. MDB says, Anthony, I promise you, Austin Powers is 10 times funnier than all the Madea movies combined.
Facts.
I'm still not watching Austin Powers. I'm not doing it. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, but Bendy the Gray. Anthony, you excited for the last Conjuring movie? I am going to see it, hopefully with a group of people. I am super excited for that. And then 2 weeks before the Conjuring comes out, the final Hell House movie comes out. I'm just in horror heaven in August. I'm just saying.
It's, you know, instead of Halloween in July, it's Halloween in August and everything.
Exactly.
We're just getting into that, you know, spooky dooky season.
Right.
And all that. Right. This has just become horror talk of with me and Anthony. This is the Chapeau show now instead of a TNA Impact live stream.
But TNA, how we feeling?
I feel like it's a good horror movie.
I
give it 10 Blumhouses out of 10. I give it 1 monkey paw out of.
I enjoyed TNA tonight. I know we talked a lot, but that's because we haven't talked in like a week and a half or so. But I think we got some push towards Emergence, and we got the announcement from Santino for some of the matches at Emergence. The main event was fun because it had us guessing, thinking Joe Hendry was gonna win. Solid episode tonight. I can't give it anything above a 7, but I'm at a 7.
Yeah, I'm there with you. 7s across the board, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel they are very much building more towards Bound for Glory than anything. Emergence is a hiccup in the road, and how do we get past this, move around this? Of the landscape's very much going to change, because that's the thing, is Bound for Glory is not till October,
right?
So we're in the long play now.
Yeah, we are in the long play. We got one pay-per-view or one monthly special in between now. In between Emergence and Bound for Glory, we got Victory Road. And Victory Road is like 3 weeks from Bound for Glory. So I think after Emergence, going towards the beginning of September, we'll have maybe a solid footing of where we might be going. Honestly, it seems like Bound for Glory is far away in October. I don't know about you, but I feel like these weeks are going by so fast. We're gonna blink and October is really going to be here. But regardless of that, we still do technically have a long time for Bound for Glory. But I think,
as someone who has a September birthday, don't say that to me. But yeah,
I think we're in the, like you said, the long stretch right here. So we might get some not so great episodes of TNA Impact, some great episodes, some hidden gems. We'll see.
I think when it came to after the end of Slamversary and everything like that, with Carlos Silva holding up Trick's arm and everything, he was kind of the Doctor Strange of we're in the end game now, of we're now in the long play, the long con of, pun intended, I guess, of Bound for Glory. I think is going to be their put everybody on notice show.
Absolutely. And I think it came out this week, as people like to downplay TNA after Slamversary, but it came out this week that the ticket sales for Bound for Glory, like the pre-ticket sales and then the general ticket sales, has already outpaced Slamversary. So people are still behind the product. I think KJ says it best, like the internet fans are the internet fans, and then you got the fans in the crowd, and that's kind of how I feel for TNA as well. The internet's gonna say their crap about TNA, but TNA has something brewing, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, no matter how long it takes to get there.
Oh, well, you look at any promotion right now. If you went just by what Twitter said, fucking pro wrestling's in shambles.
Oh my God.
I've never seen a worse point in time in pro wrestling. But if you actually watch the product, you actually tune in. Oh my God, it's the resurgence. It is the second coming of Jesus H Attitude Era. I don't know if wrestling's been a bigger thing right now. Think about it. There's multi-billion, and I do mean $billion deals happening right now revolving around pro wrestling. I don't know how else to say that pro wrestling's at its, I don't want to say it's peak, but it's on a precipice right now when you have $1 billion deals across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Wrestling is on the rise. I've seen people talk about wrestling that don't watch wrestling. I got friends that reach out to me that I know have for a fact have never seen an episode of wrestling in their adult life. Maybe when they were children, but not now. Wrestling is definitely on the rise. And like Nick said, if you read Twitter and stuff like that, they'll tell you it's a dying breed, no one's watching, and that's just not the case. I myself, being a separate content creator outside of the channel, like I find myself even getting annoyed with some of the creators or so-called creators that are just downplaying the rise of professional wrestling everywhere. It's just like, it's here. Stop complaining. That's kind of how I feel. I never complain. I don't really ever complain. If I don't like something, I'm just not going to watch it. The only time I kind of jumped on something this week in a very, very long time, and I somewhat complained but didn't complain, was the whole ESPN thing, because it kind of shocked me. But I think, after getting all the facts and the information, for me, for you, for KJ, KJ lives in Canada, but for some of us in the chat, we already know what the deal is and how we can get it.
They did a very bad example or a very bad version of how they got that information out. Like, that should have been what you fucking led with.
Exactly. It was like they led with the deal, but they didn't tell people how they can access it. All that should have kind of been.
I kicked you in the nuts, but I didn't give you the hug afterwards.
Exactly. So,
but yes, folks, that is why we are the WFU down the IWC, because they are just downtrodden. They are toxicity, and I just want to see Anthony start naming names. I'll sit here and wait until you start naming.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm definitely good.
Can we just start playing guess the creator?
But yeah, it's just I feel like, me personally, like I try my best to keep up with AEW. Definitely I'm TNA, watching TNA. Right now, I think I've expressed it on the channel with WWE that I'm not really into everything WWE is doing. And again, that's not a bad thing, but I'm still keeping up with the storylines. I'm still talking about it on social media and things of that sort. But there's something for everyone, and I feel like nobody sees that. If you don't like WWE and you like AEW, stick with watching AEW. If you love WWE and hate AEW, stick with watching WWE. If you like, there's people literally that I see on TikTok, on Twitter, that only watches TNA. Like, good for them.
And their name is Anthony.
So it's just like wrestling is here for everyone. There's something for everyone. If you don't like the mainstream, you got the indie shows. There's so much out here, and I feel like there's people that just complain to complain, and it's tiring. It really is.
It's been we're long enough in the stream. It's a fuck ton of hashtag pre-mad. I read a headline, so I'm mad because I didn't read the whole article.
Right.
And that what I was 24 hours almost of just from comments and this and that from on here, from this, app to that app and everything of no. So for those who don't know, I'll explain it one last time before we get out of here, because I know we're going to talk about it tomorrow and everything. If you have ESPN in any way, shape, or form, pretty much, you are going to be able to access the secondary, the direct-to-consumer app that they're going to release, which is going to be different than ESPN Plus and everything else, because I've seen people ask about that. It's not anything tied to what they currently have. You will have access to all of that. If you have Disney Plus, if you have Hulu Plus and all of that, you will be directly brought into that. If you have YouTube TV, I've seen that. If you have, again, cable in any way with ESP on it, you will be brought into that and be able to authenticate yourself for that. If you have Netflix, just get yourself a VPN. Honestly, it is the easiest and the cheapest way to do it. If you pay for Netflix and if you're only watching WWE, that gets you everything. Because that's the thing, though, too, is no one wants to talk about $50 AEW pay-per-views. No one wants to talk about $9.99 from TNA for TNA Plus weekly and still might have to pay $50 for a pay-per-view. No one wants to talk about that, but everyone wants to crash out because, you might have to pay $30 instead of $10 to watch WWE. But
yeah, and before we leave, just like I revealed earlier in the stream, that I am a VPN person. So if you're looking into a VPN, if you want to reach out to me, Twitter, Discord, I got you. As I think Boston said last night, that I hooked him up with a VPN. So I got all the knowledge. I can help you. VPNs are fairly cheap if you want to do a monthly plan. I do the yearly because I'm an extensive user of VPN. But like Nick said, it's the easiest thing in the world. You just turn that VPN on and put it into a country where Netflix, WWE is shown on Netflix, which is about everywhere except the US.
Hit Canada. With all the flopping heads so full of lies.
Exactly. And you got everything there at your fingertips. And like Nick said, I am sure him and KJ will be talking about this tomorrow on the SmackDown stream.
Yes, we'll be back at it like a jackrabbit tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown of the fallout still from SummerSlam. John Cena and Cody Rhodes, that kind of send off. Brock Lesnar's back. Does Brock Lesnar show up? And last thing, too. Hashtag not sponsored, halfway plugged also to the Discord and everything, which is all the links for everything is in the descriptions of all the videos and all of that. I use Urban VPN Proxy. If everybody that gives me shit about using a VPN so I can be in sync with KJ because he's in Canada and I'm in the US, it's free. It costs you nothing. It's proof positive that it works because I use it even. I'm not just a client. I'm a customer. And also, again, hashtag not sponsored. It free, it costs you nothing. So if you already got Netflix, you're already hooked up with it. So yes, again, to the high seas, Captain Jack Sparrow, we go.
And one last thing, since he's plugging the free VPN, I do use a paid VPN. I'm a big user of ExpressVPN, and I've been an avid customer.
Yay.
I've been an avid customer of them for over 5 years.
Do you have a promo code, sir?
I don't have a promo code, but we might need to reach out to ExpressVPN. Yes. And one last thing, John C has mentioned TNA a couple of times. Yes, we have heard about TNA potentially being picked up by Peacock, which I think is great. Hopefully they do that. If not, I know they have some other streaming services on their kind of thing. I heard Tubi might be one, and Tubi is free. So, but yes, John C, we have heard.
I heard, who else was it that I heard? A&E.
Yes, I've heard A&E, and I actually strongly heard the CW too. And I know the CW is moving away from original content more into sports things, so that definitely could be something there.
Right.
But I don't have any more one more thing, so I'm good.
Fair enough. I got all the one more things. I got ones little, twos little, threes little, fours little. But yeah, I could see very much to where TNA fills the slot with Peacock, but we're filling the slot towards the exit hole here. Pause. As Denisha is saying, thanks, Big Nick, for that. Yes, I got the free Vippins out there. And John C, what up? Yeah, hashtag sponsor us. Hashtag not sponsored, by the way. So again, legal rights, you can't be mad at us if for whatever reason don't work for you, but it worked for me. But we need to be sponsored either by a beard company or a Vippin company at some point. VPN sales are going on the rise right now. Of if you're a wrestling fan, invest in VPNs because you're gonna make some money. But TNA Austin Powers, I think on all of these notes, MOG, you down with me? Yeah, we're gonna be down for SmackDown tomorrow with D. Yes, sir. How you feeling? Final thoughts, final get outs before you get out.
I think I did I got one more. I don't have one more. So final thoughts is continue to watch TNA each week as we build to Bound for Glory. I'm excited. And be here for the SmackDown stream. Are we off this weekend, Nick? Do we have anything planned?
We are currently off this weekend because for once in the blue moon of again, we won't have to pay. We won't have to worry about paying $30 or $50 or $20 or anything for pay-per-views. Because it's not 2026 and we're off this weekend, but we got you covered on all the content. Even if you don't want to pay for the content, we got you covered watching all the content. And I got to love it with hashtag Anthony likes bad movies. On that lovely note with Aubrey with a 10, our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. Our shit will always be free. When you're talking about that wrestling, you put that for life with it.
Be back for the SmackDown stream tomorrow. See you guys.